Hello, everyone. It's Meredith, your evolutionary astrologer. And today I'm going to go into this so deeply with you. I'm going to give you one of the most misunderstood secrets in astrology. We are going to talk about intercepted signs, what it means, and you've got to go get your gorgeous natal chart. Hopefully you have one. I'm going to show you two different celebrities where you are definitely going to see their intercepted signs. And we've got to talk about this because it is so fascinating and it oftentimes confuses beginners and it's a little bit hard to see. But once I show it to you, you can never not see it. Okay, so I do want to ask you, if you are a beginner, be patient with your learning. Be patient with your learning. And if you want to learn deep astrology like this, consider coming to my academy where we have so much fun learning the deeper hidden truths about your chart and about astrology. But today I'm going to give you this gift, and I want everybody to understand astrology at this deeper level because you know that we don't do sun sign astrology. So if you've ever looked at a natal chart and noticed how an entire zodiac sign is sitting inside a house, but it does not appear on any house cusp. That's what we're talking about. That sign is called intercepted. So you know that there are 12 houses in astrology, right? So I'm going to pull up a chart for you right now, and I'm going to show you these 12 houses. And in this particular chart, the houses are not intercepted. So it will be a little bit easier for you to see. Okay, I'm going to start with Elvis Presley's chart, January 8th, 1935. Hopefully you can see my cursor. So you can see that he's at 26-degree Sagittarius rising. And basically, this is the rising sign, but this is also the cusp of the first house. You can see that his second house cusp is right here at 24 degrees Capricorn, 37 minutes right here. So you can see his first house is a little bit, it's 4 degrees of Sagittarius and it's 24 degrees of Capricorn. So that's just two signs, okay? So his second house cusp is 24 degrees Capricorn. It has 6 degrees of Capricorn, and then it's mostly Aquarius. And his third house cusp, this line right here, starts at 24 degrees Aquarius, and there is 26 degrees of Pisces in it. So his first, his second, and his third houses each have two signs. His fourth house also has two signs. You can see that it has 4 degrees of Pisces because this is the cusp line. It starts at 26 degrees Pisces, and it has 28 degrees of Aries. So that's also two signs. So his fifth house, it starts at 28 degrees Aries, and it's got 28 degrees of Taurus in it. So he's got a little bit of Aries and a whole lot of Taurus. The sixth house has a little tiny bit of Taurus, right? Because it starts at 28 degrees. And it mostly has Gemini, but again, just two signs. So the top half of the chart, so we just did 1 through 6. The top half, 7 through 12, is going to mimic the size of the bottom half. So we're going to know that the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, and you can pause this recording and take a look at it for yourself, are each going to have two signs each. So Elvis Presley has no interceptions, but wait until you see some charts with interceptions. You'll be able to understand the person that we're looking at so much more clearly. When you have an intercepted house, you will probably have 3 signs, and you will have one of those signs have their full 30 degrees inside that house with a little bit of the sign in front of it, the full 30 degrees, and then a little bit of the sign behind it. I'm going to show it to you in a minute, and then stay tuned because we're going to go through all the signs and all the houses. So if you have interceptions, even if you don't, you need to understand this technique, this trick, this concept, because it is just so important. If you've ever looked at a natal chart and you've noticed that an entire zodiac sign is sitting inside a house, but it does not appear on the house cusp, that sign is intercepted, and that sign holds a very special energy, and it holds a very special message. Now, to help you with your chart, I've color coded my gorgeous natal charts, as you saw. So all the water signs, all the fire signs, all the earth and all the air are color coded differently. So it makes seeing those house cusps really, really important. And by the way, you really need to know what the sign is on each of your 12th house cusps, and that creates your house rulers. So the planets that live inside of each house are not necessarily the only important energy or the most important energy. It is the ruler of each house, and wherever that planetary ruler sits in the chart, that planetary ruler for each house is so critical to understand. And that is your unique chart rulers. And if you want to understand the rulers of all 12 of your houses, you've absolutely got to get my unique chart rulers report. It is so good. It is not that long, but it does tell you what planetary ruler is ruling each of your 12 houses, and you're going to see yourself in a whole new light. I'm so excited to teach you guys this. So let's keep going on this. But if you want to know about your planetary rulers, that's the report you need to get. Let me just show you real quick what it looks like again. Okay, this is the unique chart rulers report, and this is Elvis Presley. So first it's going to go into the ascendant, the sun. But what I like about this is it talks about the aspects to the sun. It goes into your biggest aspects to the sun. Here's the moon. This report will talk to you about the moon in the third house and the biggest aspects. But look at this. It's not very long. It's inexpensive. It's so worth it. I want you guys to understand yourself. You got to peel your onion. It goes into Jupiter and Saturn and all the aspects. But come down here. Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Now, this is my favorite part of the report. Elements to the North Node in the midheaven. Okay, so it's going to go into the North Node and your midheaven. Super important. Hold on. Okay, I lied. This is my favorite part of the report. House rulerships. This is the part of the chart that is invaluable. 24 karat gold. This is, look at this. So the ruler of his first house is in the 11th house. And so the ruler, okay, I'll show it to you in a minute. The ruler of his first house, that is the planetary ruler of the sign on the first house cusp, is in his 11th house. What does it say about him? Your friends, acquaintances, and other large groups of people will play an important role in your life overall. Humanitarian pursuits, organizations, or dedicated to some kind of wide-scale social change. Hello, it's Elvis. Becomes significant to you, and on and on and on. Okay, so his Sagittarius rising creates Jupiter as the ruler of his first house. It's also his chart ruler. And look, where is that? Jupiter in the 11th. Oh my God. Are you loving it? And so we have to understand what Jupiter in the 11th means in order to understand who Elvis Presley is. Basically, he's going to be larger than life. Basically, he's going to create a seismic shift in counterculture, because that Jupiter was in Scorpio, and he's going to transform the world. Yes. And did he do that? Yes, he did. And that is why I'm so excited to teach you about chart rulers, about house rulers, and about intercepted signs. So going back, sorry that I got off on a tangent, but I just really, really, really want you to understand, what the heck are we talking about? So this is really only going to happen if you are using a house system where the house system will vary in the size of the house, where you can have more than 30 degrees or less than 30 degrees per house. So especially at certain latitudes. So some houses become larger, allowing an entire 30-degree sign to fit inside of it without touching the beginning of that house. And I use the Placidus house system. I am not an Eastern astrologer. I am a Western astrologer. I use the tropical zodiac. I'm an evolutionary modern astrologer, and I'm also, I would say, a psychological astrologer. I believe that Jung and Freud changed the world when they started to understand the mind, and I put a lot of Plutonian themes. That's the psychology into astrology. And so the Eastern systems and traditional systems use whole house systems or the equal house system. I don't use that. I think we are much more complex creatures. And I think that modern astrology using the Koch or Placidus house system is the most potent and the most powerful way that you can dissect, right? You can peel your onion. You can literally unzip yourself and see your soul's code. That's just my personal truth. That's what I do on this channel. A lot of people ask me, I have more than 2,000 videos on this channel, and I still have people asking me, Meredith, are you a sidereal astrologer? No. Meredith, are you a traditional astrologer? No. Meredith, what house system do you use? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Just watch my videos for 5 minutes. You'll see I'm a Placidus girl. That's all I use. I used to dabble with the Koch system, but I don't. And that's Koch, by the way. Anyways, I use Placidus, and that's how you will get intercepted signs. You won't get intercepted signs if you're doing traditional astrology, whole sign astrology, or equal house system. So what does the intercepted sign even mean? It creates an internalization. It creates a delay in its expression. It creates a harder access into that sign or planet or house expression. It starts out kind of underdeveloped in a way. It is waiting for a couple of things. One is maturity. The second is healing. The third is consciousness. You have to become awake to this part in you because this part in you has been buried. And you need some keys, which just means life experience, to unlock the energy. So first of all, do you have an intercepted sign? That's what I want you to go look at on your chart. Do you have an intercepted sign? But I want to tell you this intercepted sign can end up becoming a gift that emerges later in life through life experiences. I want to tell you right here, you've heard it from me, that this intercepted sign does not mean you're damaged. It does not mean you're cursed, and it does not mean bad luck. It means that that area of consciousness may not flow as naturally in the beginning stages of life. It may require growth. It may require awareness, and it may require intentional development. Think of it like a locked treasure chest in the chart. The treasure is real, right? The treasure is in there. It just takes time to open it. And this is the gold. This is the deeper truth. Here's the reframe that most people miss, and stick with me because we're going to go through all the planets and all 12 signs. And this video is gold for you. You've got to know about this part of you, especially if you do have an intercepted sign. I have an intercepted sign, and I can even tell you how it manifests in me, but we'll keep going. We'll keep going. The intercepted signs are not weaknesses. They are your soul's work, and they represent your untapped potential. They represent this potential inner self-mastery. This is part of your psyche that develops through life experience, not instinct. This is not just going to be the gifts that are handed to you. These are the gifts that you nurture. And when activated, they can become your greatest strength. So with this, I want to tell you a little secret, okay? Here's this little secret. Because you guys, many of you have been watching a lot of my videos, and you know my personality, you know my gifts, you know my weaknesses too. I'm certainly not perfect. And I hope that you see the humility in me. And also, I hope you see that I genuinely want to teach you astrology. And I've come to love so many of you. But anyways, I want to tell you that I have an intercepted Mercury, and I have an intercepted Neptune and South Node, and it's in Scorpio, and it's in the 4th house. And so what I want to share with you is when I was a young girl, all the way through pretty much college, I was really painfully shy. I know that's absolutely like you're going, what? How can that be? What? You're just so flamboyantly expressive. No, no, you guys. And look at me today. And what am I doing with my life? Talking, sharing, right? Sharing deep stuff, sharing scorpionic stuff. It was hard. It was very painful. It sometimes still comes out where it's hard for me when I'm with a really domineering person or an antagonistic person, or when I'm with a person who's creating a lot of conflict. It's literally like my voice is erased. It's like I freeze. I'm terrible in emergency situations as well. I completely freeze. I literally don't know how to use my voice. And simultaneously, my voice is my gift. So this is just a quick example of how profound I know interceptions to be. And I don't want you to neglect, wrong glasses. I don't want you to neglect the planets or the signs that are intercepted in your life, even though they can be, before you discover their talent, very painful. So when you work with your intercepted planet or sign or house, you can oftentimes feel the energy activated later in life. And in childhood or early adulthood, you feel disconnected from the gift that lives inside that planet, Mercury for me. And you also will attract people who will express those characteristic traits for you. So, for example, I had two parents, my mom and my dad, that were not just good communicators, they were exceptional communicators. I mean, my mom was a public speaker. My father worked for the United Nations. When I say exceptional speakers, I mean exceptional speakers. So what did that do for me? It made me shy. I'll never find words like them. I'll never be able to string sentences together. My mom was an English teacher before she was a public speaker. She was an English teacher. And so she just spoke so eloquently. My father was also a singer too. He had a beautiful voice. So I'm just saying that you will attract to yourself people who will do the work for you, or people who will emulate the standard for you, so you feel a gap. Believe me, I felt that gap for most of my life. And you will struggle to access the confidence in that arena, in that area, to take it on. Like I struggled because I admired those qualities in the role models in my life, but I certainly knew I didn't have them inside of me, you know, and eventually you'll develop it after major life events, or after healing, or after severe wounding, which then leads to hopefully healing and maturity. So after my dad passed away, I was a little bit older, so by then I had found my voice, but that reinforced it, right? And it's like, then one day after a transit, after a progression, after a Saturn return, after a divorce, after a career shift, a relocation, or a spiritual awakening, the energy will start to emerge powerfully. And for me, it's when I left Arizona and I literally saved up $3,000 the day after I graduated college. I moved to New York City and I got a job managing Clifford, the big red dog, at Scholastic Publishing. And there was no silencing me after that. So sometimes these intercepted signs become one of the strongest, most meaningful signatures, meaningful milestones in the entire chart. It's like I got my voice, not just my voice. I got a powerful voice, or I should say, truthfully, I was like a colt. I was finding that there was actually power inside my voice. That's actually how it's more accurate. So right now I want to give you the cheat code. Okay. I want to give you the cheat code for intercepted signs. And then I'm going to show it to you in the charts of two famous people. Oh my God, it is absolutely amazing. So first, let's go through all 12 signs. So I want you to go get your gorgeous natal chart. If you don't have one, please consider supporting the channel. Helps me buy my editor's time, and he is so worth it. Jorge, we love you. Thank you for being here. Go get your gorgeous natal chart. Just go to shopsoulnavigation.com. It is $10. It's all color coded. It is so easy to read. I designed these charts. You will not find another chart like this. I say buy one and then laminate it and then keep another one for when you work with me on Sundays on my YouTube channel. I do a new video at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time every single Sunday. So bring it to class, YouTube class every single Sunday, but also laminate one. So your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren, your great-great-grandchildren will always have it. I also kind of feel like you should frame yours and put it in your house. It is the blueprint of your soul. Anyways, let's go. Let's go. I got so much to share with you, and I'm so excited. If you have Aries intercepted in your chart, we're not talking houses yet. We're just talking about the sign. Right now, I'm going to tell you that the early struggles with assertiveness, even finding your anger and your courage and your independence, asking for what you want and trusting your own instincts, is the struggle. And later in life, you will hopefully have a catalyst that will help you become bold and self-led and courageous and become a powerful initiator. If you have intercepted Taurus in your chart, this is me too, because by the way, what you're going to learn is if you have one sign intercepted, the opposite sign will also be intercepted. So if you know your oppositions, you will know that if you have an intercepted Aries, you also have an intercepted Libra. And so you get 2 lessons to work on. So intercepted Taurus, this is early struggles with self-worth, with feeling secure and stable. You will have financial insecurities at some point in your life. You will also feel a little bit guilty if you receive too much pleasure, happiness, or joy, or maybe the world is angry or jealous at you for happiness and joy. Usually it's harder to find the happiness and joy. Also, you will struggle with having patience. You will want everything right now. And later in life, you will become quite grounded, even prosperous, calm, sensual, and steady. You also, with an intercepted Taurus, might struggle with feeling like you're not beautiful or not attractive enough. Intercepted Gemini, this is also going to have an intercepted Sagittarius attached to it. So go look. If you have intercepted Gemini, you also have intercepted Sag. So early struggles with speaking up, with talking, with confidence about if you're smart. You might not feel smart enough. There will be a lack of social ease or flexibility or your learning style. You might suffer from a learning disability or a learning struggle like dyslexia or just flat out communication. And later you'll see that you're actually quite funny. You're very articulate. You're mentally agile and you are an exceptional connector. Intercepted Cancer. This is early struggles with feeling vulnerable. Emotional expression is hard for you. You will wonder if you are needed or wanted, or sometimes if you even belong. You will struggle with showing your softness, showing your vulnerabilities. And later you become so deeply intuitive and so caring. And it's a lot easier for you to express that caring for others. It's easier for you to show your hurts, your aches, your pains, your tears, your wounds, your vulnerability. And the vulnerability creates intimacy. It's like you become emotionally wise and very protective. An intercepted Leo, who has this? I want you guys to write to me in the comments and let me know if you have these interceptions and if you can relate, because your comments really help other people who find the video later in understanding, wow, other people really feel this too. So this is like early struggles with am I seen? And this is an early struggle with not having confidence, not feeling vital, not being able to express yourself creatively, and not being able to reveal your joyful, happy disposition. Also leadership is a struggle, like being a leader, struggling with putting yourself out there, also struggling with not feeling special. And later you become this radiant, generous, magnetic, heart-led creatively powerful force inside your world. And so, what was the catalyst in your life? I want to know your catalyst. What was your catalyst that helped you have a breakout and a breakthrough? Because these intercepted signs, like the treasure chest, they need a breakout. So, the intercepted sign of Virgo, this is early struggles with putting things in order, with self improvement, with learning how to discern good from bad, good from great, routines, building a routine, having a routine that makes you feel good about your life, self care, body care, health care, fitness care, right? And trusting that you actually are truly smart, intelligent, and competent. Later, you will see that there will be a catalyst that will help you understand, wow, I'm really skilled. Wow, I've got really big talents. Wow, I'm really precise. Wow. Wow, I'm a healer. Wow, I'm dependable. I'm masterful at this, right? So what was the catalyst? What helped you break out? Intercepted Libra. So, if you have an intercepted Libra, you also have an intercepted Aries. So this is an early struggle with just finding a balance in your life. Everything is so extreme. Maybe you are being pitted against another parent or another friend where there's a triangulation, or with, maybe you feel like you're kind of pitted against your siblings, but you will have an early struggle with just finding harmony. So you might feel like the world is too chaotic. Also, like there's no one to partner with. Like me, I was the last person called to be on a sports team in 5th grade. We're all playing kickball, and it would go Johnny, Tommy, Susie, Sally, Whitney, Ursula, right? And I'd be standing there. Nobody wanted me on their team. Oh, it was so painful. And my mom was like, "How was your day at school?" Awful. Awful. Nobody ever wanted me on the kickball team. Do I blame them? No, I wasn't a very good athlete. I still probably wouldn't get picked. Um, but what I want to say is, like, this intercepted Libra energy is feeling like not chosen, not picked, like not getting picked for the prom, or not getting picked to have, a date, or not getting picked to go to the party. It's like, so you're going to struggle with nothing's fair, feeling like, God, there's no tact or diplomacy. It's not even kind, right? Like kindness, fairness, healthy relating is a struggle. And later, oh my God, later you're probably like the most elegant person in the room, the most diplomatic, kind, rationally, reasonably wise, social skills, charming, and you're probably a divorce mediator. Yeah. So that intercepted Libra brings a lot of pain. Do you have that? Can you leave us a comment or a story? Or when did you have a breakthrough? When did you realize that you have social charm and social ease? And if you're older and you still feel the trap of it, I get it. I mean, my intercepted Mercury, I sometimes I freeze when the situation is mean or nasty. I know you'll have a hard time believing this, but if I have somebody write a email to me that's just mean or nasty, I'm flabbergasted. I'm just flabbergasted that there are people out there that can be so verbally cruel. I just, ugh. Anyways, that sometimes resurfaces. So, and I'm older. And so it's like, it doesn't necessarily get permanently healed, but it does get mostly healed. That intercepted sign can still feel the triggers at times. So, intercepted Scorpio, here we go. There's early struggles with trusting other people, with building intimacy, because if you build intimacy, somebody's going to betray you. And there's also an early struggle with power, your own power or people who are powerful around you. There's also a struggle around emotional depth. And let me tell you this, it doesn't mean that you are shallow. It might mean that your emotional depth is inappropriate for this party, for this gathering. Like, oh, don't feel everything so deeply. Don't think about everything so deeply. Like, life is a comedy. Life is fun. No, I see the pain in it. I see the pain in it. Oh my God. So, like, the pain in it. When I was a little girl, my next door neighbor, I loved him. His name was Stevie. I don't know if I can ever find him again. But I really loved him. And we were just friends, and I was very little. Anyways, sometimes he would like step on the ants or something just because he could. And I hated that. I thought it was just so mean. And if you've ever seen inside of an ant farm or an ant underground, like these ants are so smart and they have colonies and lives, right? And they have whole families. Like I could not stand the abuse of power, even at that age. And then listen to this, listen to this. My husband and I, Joe, we just went to Willamette Valley, and there were these two adorable little girls, and they were sitting at this little table, and their four parents were sitting at this table next to them, and they were kind of far from one another. They were like 5 feet apart, and it was in the sunshine. It was at this beautiful little park type restaurant place. And my husband and I were sitting further away, and I had to walk by these two tables to go to the restaurant that we were going to eat at. And these two darling, adorable little girls, it was like Easter weekend. They're in their Easter dresses. They have their pigtails. And the one little darling, adorable girl says to the other little darling, adorable girl, "Do you want to go kill some ants?" What? Pardon me? Why? Why? Because you can? Like, in your darling Easter dress, you're going to go kill some ants? Like, I don't know. I was dumbfounded. I know it's ants, ants, whatever, but it took everything inside of me to not correct that behavior. Can you imagine me? Hey, little darling little girl. No, 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 you don't want to do that. I looked back at the parents like, did you hear that? Oh, no, they didn't. They were oblivious. By the way, everybody looked beautiful, looked nice. They looked, I don't know, fancy. These are not like, I don't know, little rugrats that didn't know better. These were like, I just was shocked. So obviously, I still have this little trauma, and it's sort of like a struggle with power, a struggle with the concept of power, a struggle with an abuse of power. Like, it just was awful, absolutely awful. And if you have an intercepted Scorpio, you might, even at an early age, struggle with your own sexuality or the concept or process of feeling like you need to transform in some way. So later in life, you can become magnetic and psychologically so insightful and incredibly resilient to pain and profoundly empowered, and the Scorpio, depends on what planet, but the scorpionic place in you can create unbelievable transformation in other people. And so that's what I'm doing today. I want astrology to help you in your process of healing and transformation. At least that's my hope. Okay, intercepted Sagittarius. This will be also intercepted Gemini. So you got to listen to both. You'll have early struggles with what you believe in, with your faith, with your religion, with being indoctrinated into something that might not be in alignment with you. So I just want to know, do you have intercepted Sagittarius? And were you indoctrinated into a religion, a political ideology, a cult of some sort that just felt like a cult, or a family's belief system that did not align with you? Were you not allowed to be authentically what you believed yourself to be? You also might have struggled with not having as much adventure in your life as you wanted. Like, I want to travel. I want to live beyond, this farmhouse in Mississippi. I want to go see the world, but I don't have the means to do so, or something. Also, higher learning, like college might be unattainable or uninteresting to you, only to later in life feel like, gosh, I wish I would have studied more, or studied at the college, or wish I would have gotten my doctorate or my PhD. So there's also maybe an issue or a challenge with expansion of energy, just keeping yourself smaller than what your soul really wants. So I want to know if this is your story. Later, it will become cataclysmic in your life because you'll probably step into the visionary that you are. And you will probably become quite adventurous. You will see that you are so wise beyond your peers. And you might even step into truly coming to know how just inspiring you really are. You will also become truth centered, finding that faith, walking your talk, letting go or shedding the belief system that no longer fits your soul. Okay, so if you have intercepted Capricorn, we know that you're going to also have an intercepted Cancer. So this is going to be early struggles with authority, either those people who are above you or finding your own inner authority. You're also going to struggle with discipline. So I just want to know, if you are an intercepted Capricorn, were you spanked? Were you beaten? Were you hit? Were you punched? Did somebody, even I don't know, the mean kid at the lunch table, it could have been that, or your parents or your siblings, did somebody try to discipline you in a way that was not in alignment with your soul? Also, I will tell you that you might struggle with ambition, like knowing just how talented or great you are, setting goals. You might be like, I don't know what I'm good at. And so therefore you might struggle with your own ambition. Or you could struggle with somebody forcing you to be more ambitious than what's the truth inside your own soul. Like, I don't want to be a biochemistry major. I don't want to be a engineer, I want to be a flower farmer, like my friend Liz in Oregon. Also, you might really struggle with cultivating self-respect, respect for yourself, or just seeing what the long-term success goal plan idea is for yourself. And later in life, you will probably have an event, an opportunity, a moment in time where you will become highly accomplished, very mature. You will use your strategic mind, if you will, to build a life that you really are proud of, becoming, I should say, deepening your own self-respect. So as that happened, leave us a note and let us know. If you haven't already, I just cannot stress enough that if you're loving learning, think about coming to the Athena Academy of Astrology and learning with me. You can see where we're at in our curriculum. You can join us at any time. Just go to soulnavigation.com and click on the Athena Academy. It is absolutely amazing. Literally join anytime because it's self-paced. The classes that you've already missed, you can just take those on your own and dive in with us. I hope to see you guys all there. So intercepted Aquarius, you know that you're going to also have an intercepted Leo. This is a person who's going to struggle early on with their own individuality, feeling like, do I belong? Am I an alien? Am I eccentric? Am I too weird? Why don't I have any friends? Why am I so different? I don't want to be different. Just being original is painful. And so you detach, or they detach, or you both detach, or everything feels detached. It's like, what am I attached to? Can I attach? So there's a detachment syndrome with this, and friendships struggle. And there's a real struggle with the concept of I am different. Later in life, you realize that your differences creates something quite innovative, and you're liberated from the protocol. You're liberated from, I don't know, the corporate cookie cutter structure, and the authentic version of you has emerged. And so how did that happen? How did we break you open, right? And let the sun shine out? Like, how did that happen? And so there's a real force with these intercepted signs. When they break open, it's literally liquid gold. So intercepted Pisces also means intercepted Virgo. There's early struggles with surrender. There is an early struggle with intuition. You're not allowed to probably use your imagination or your intuition to the degree that you have it. No to spirituality. We're doing this other thing called religion, or something about your spirituality can't surface for some reason. There's boundaries on you where you were born a boundless person and your world asked you to put it in the closet. So this one's really like living in the closet. The closet is too small for us. I know a lot of us have tiny houses. Does anybody have a tiny house? I want to know about your life. I really believe in the concept of a tiny house. I love the whole thing about it. Sometimes I just watch on YouTube people that live in tiny houses. I love how they live. But this is a tiny house that is way too tiny for your soul. And I also want to say that if you have intercepted Pisces, you probably will have issues in trusting yourself and others, and who to trust. You will probably have issues around abandonment, betrayal, am I loved? And you mostly have issues with being seen. Why? Because you're truthfully in a closet and your soul doesn't want to be in a closet. So why am I invisible? Why am I overlooked? Why did they say hello, hello, and hello, and I'm right there and they didn't say hello to me? Like I'm talking to you and you and you, but I'm not talking to you, right? It's like I am literally right here and I say hi and hi, hi and hi. Why didn't I see you? That's the Pisces. That's intercepted Pisces. And later you realize that energy matters. You realize the power of energy and you start to use your energy to be seen or not to be seen, you know? And so later you become probably the most compassionate person in the world, seeing those who are overlooked. Why? Because you lived like that and you become quite mystical, magical, artistic. You become a healer and you become spiritually attuned. Isn't this exciting? Are you excited? Do you love learning astrology? I want you guys to leave a comment. Please like this video. I don't know why, but my videos as of late, they're not getting the traffic that they used to get. And it would just mean the world to me. It's free to like a video and share this video, share it with yourself, if you will. And also I would love it if you would consider joining my channel. There are so many great perks and it puts 10 cents into my pocket a day. And it just means the world to me because then I can hire an editor and I can find more time to do more videos for you. So thank you to all those who are already a super supporter or superstar, super supporter. The superstars, on your third month, you get that report that I absolutely love called your 365 transit report. So every single day you get to see the most important transits that are happening with your chart. Isn't it fun? It's just so fun. Okay, so I want to show you this chart right here. And this is Princess Diana. Hopefully you can see it. July 1st, 1961, 7:45 p.m. in Sandringham, England. Okay, so the very interesting thing is she barely has an interception, but she does have an interception. And it's really, really cool to see. This is a very fascinating chart because her second house is the house that is intercepted along with the eighth house. Now, you're always going to have it happen in whatever house it happens. It's also going to happen in the opposite house. And you can see with Princess Diana, this is where she has most of her planets, in the eighth house and the second house. So these are jam-packed. I'm not going to go deep into a lecture, but if you like this content, let me know. And let me know if you would be interested in a masterclass. Now for my master's, and I'll do a masterclass for you. I'm going to have to figure out how to do that while I teach at the Athena Academy, but I will do that for my super supporters and superstars, super supporters. And for my superstars, you get to come for free. And for my super supporters, you get to come for $5. Yes. And so if you would like to know about this information in a deeper way, just please leave me a comment and let me know, because I do read all my comments. But this Aquarius is intercepted. Why? Because it has a full 30 degrees in her second house. Let me show you how you read this. So here is the cusp. So it's at 2948. We know that each sign goes to 2959. And then after 2959, it switches to the next sign. In this case, it would be the 0 degrees Aquarius. So we can see that there is a full 30 degrees of Aquarius here. And then we can see that the next house cusp right here, the third house cusp, starts at 18 degrees 21 Pisces. So she has 18 degrees of Pisces, 30 degrees of Aquarius, and she has less than 1 degree. She just has a couple of minutes, to tell you the truth. 11 minutes. I mean, it's less than 1 degree of Capricorn. The reason why I wanted to show you this is because it doesn't matter. It does not matter how tiny, how teeny, weeny tiny that first sign is. That sign is the boss. That planetary ruler is the boss of that whole house. And that intercepted Aquarius, right, is what is struggling. And then we can look at the planets, which we're going to talk about it. And when I talk about the planet Jupiter and the moon being intercepted, I want you to think of Princess Diana, because she had her belief system and her heart and her past life. All the gifts and all the skills that she came into this lifetime with, for much of her childhood and early adulthood, she felt like she didn't fit in. And what was her issue? She did not fit in. She literally did not fit in. Let's keep going. So we go up to the 8th house. You can see it's 2948. Look at this, you guys. Look at this, look at this, look at this. It's the same, 2948. So the houses are going to have the same degrees as their cusp. So houses 1 through 6 are going to have the same exact degrees, houses 7 through 12. So her second house starts at 2948. So's her 8th house, 2948. So there's a little tiny sliver of Cancerian energy that is the dominant ruling sign. I know it's less than a degree, but it's still on the cusp. The cusp are the doors. You can't get into the 8th house if you don't have a door. So it is the door, and the door holds the energy. It doesn't matter how small it is. And then all of that Leo is in the closet, right? And it is intercepted. And then there is the Virgo, and she has a couple of planets in the Virgo. That's not intercepted. But what is Leo? Okay, and here there's her Uranus. And there's her North Node, her highest best self. Her highest best self is the North Node. What is Leo? Okay, put it in the comments, put it in the chat. What is Leo? Leo is one of 2 signs that express royalty. There's 2 royal signs in the zodiac. And royalty is expressed through Sagittarius, because it's ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is the god of all gods, Zeus. And Leo, the sun god, Apollo, the sun, the center of our universe, the life bearer. And that Leo was intercepted. Her royalty, right? Being a part of the royal family. The royal family hated her. Why? Because she was Aquarius in a past life. She didn't follow the rules. She slow danced with Michael Jackson and John Travolta while she was married to Prince Charles. Yeah. So look at just those 2 things and you can start seeing the intercepted story. What happened to her? Well, when she met Dodi Fayed, she started to have no F's to give about the royal family, even before that. When she went and shook hands with people who had AIDS in the 80s, the whole royal family was like, what? Right? And she was like, it was like equivalent to touching, I don't know, the hands of a leper. I don't feel that. I'm just saying the world was just shocked, right? Because that was so Aquarius, that was so humanitarian of her to do. So many more reasons. We don't have time to go into it, but I wanted to show you how absolutely stupefying, dumbfounding, how gobsmacked astrology has me at times. Like, it is just shell shocking. Did you guys see my short on YouTube where I took the exact time of the assassination attempt at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and I looked at the exact time, and it was like, holy freakazoid, right? I can't even say the words I want to say. Like, I was just gobsmacked. And I've been doing this for 30 years. Anyways, this chart surprised me because I had to find somebody who had an intercepted sign. And holy moly, guacamole, found it with Princess Diana. Okay, let me show you one more so you can just see how absolutely incredible this is. Here we go. You're not even ready for it. Okay, let me show you another one that you're not even ready for. Like, this is just incredible. It's very, very similar, but I want to show it to you because I really want you to see how powerful astrology is. So this is Prince's chart, June 7th, 1958, 6:17 p.m. Look at this. We have another moon interception. So when I talk about the moon, I want you to really think about Prince's chart. Let's look at it. So here it is. Here's the interception. It's very tiny. So I want you to think of this like a cake with frosting on it. So let's just pretend I have a chocolate cake. I'm giving you a chocolate cake. But now I'm giving you a chocolate cake with the thinnest layer of white frosting. Okay. And now I give you that chocolate cake with white frosting. Do you even know it's a chocolate cake? No, you don't. You are probably guessing that I gave you vanilla frosting with a vanilla cake. And that vanilla frosting is like this, 29 degrees, 43 minutes. We know that it goes to 29:59. So it's just the slightest little layer of vanilla frosting, if you will. It still is the ruler. It is still the ruler of the fourth house. That's why I want you to get the unique chart rulers report that I showed you earlier. You've got to get that report. It is so good. It is so deep. And it's going to talk to you about the ruler of the fourth house and what it's doing. And the fourth house is, especially if you have intercepted signs, you need to know the rulers of your houses because that ruler is going to be like on remote control from another house. His is Uranus and Saturn, and he's got to use Uranus and Saturn to be able to get into this house. He has to use those planets. Anyways, the unique chart rulers report is really good, especially if you have intercepted signs. But look at this. Then he has 30 degrees of Pisces in there. That's like the cake. And then he has 1 degree, 44 minutes of Aries. And can you believe this? Aries pops into that fourth house. Aries is not in this fifth house. He doesn't have anything in the fifth house. He has that Mars in the fourth house, which holds an interception. So those intercepted houses are ginormous. They're usually bigger than a lot of the other houses. Now, he only has that thin frosting, then he has the full 30 degrees, then he has the other, but he has his moon intercepted. He has his moon intercepted. And we can even see that. You know, there's something about Prince that felt really otherworldly. Let's talk about that for a minute. Here's his 10th house. So he has his fourth house, the most private house in the whole entire wheel. And then the 10th house, the most public house. And what sign is intercepted in Prince's chart up here? Well, we know it's Pisces down here, so we know it's Virgo. And look at that. 29:43, that's where the cusp is. So we know the sun is the ruler of the 10th house, but that's advanced. That's for advanced students. Don't, if you're not that advanced, it's okay. Come to the Athena Academy. But really and truly, what is so fascinating and so interesting is that it's at 29:43. That's the cusp. We know that it goes to 29:59. And look at this. His Pluto sits at 29:58 Leo. Oh my God. 1 minute away from being intercepted in Virgo. It is literally on its last breath of its breath of its breath. And what is Pluto? Death, transformation, the psychological wound. Where is it? In the most public house. And it's literally in that teeny weeny film of frosting. Like that film of frosting, 29:43 to 29:59. How many minutes away is that? And this one barely ekes into it. Crazy. Ah, I'm blowing my own mind. Are you guys with me? Just please write, yes, I'm with you on this Prince deal. Like, I wish I was studying his whole chart cold with you guys. If you guys want to understand how to read charts deeply, like find not just the obvious patterns in a chart, like, oh, he's a Gemini, he must be good with his voice. No, but to find the deep psychological patterns, you should go to my Athena Academy, go to soulnavigation.com, click on the Athena Academy of Astrology, and then go purchase my cold readings mastery class. I just did it. It's only 3 classes. I teach you how to do cold readings, but I teach you how to see the hidden the hidden themes, and I will help you become not a good astrologer, not a great astrologer, an absolutely fascinating, extraordinary astrologer. You will go from great to fascinating. Yes, because I show you how to find these little tiny details. Are you guys with me? I want to know if you're with me, if you're understanding this. So he doesn't have any intercepted planets in Virgo. He has that Pluto that is seen. And you know what? We freaking saw it. You know how we saw it? You know how we saw it? We saw it in how he took on the record label companies. And we also felt that Prince was kind of untouchable. He was so private. He was so utterly private. You know, there's something so fascinating. I think we saw that Pluto barely, but we did because he took on those record label companies. But, you know, we also felt like there was something quite untouchable about Prince. One, he had Pluto. Nobody really wants to touch Pluto. Two, he had the moon intercepted in the fourth. We couldn't reach him. And his emotions were intense, but they were hidden. And he even gave himself a name that we could not speak. It was a symbol, right? The artist formerly known as Prince. It's like a hidden moon in the fourth house. And it was like he had almost too much feeling with no obvious outlet. And he was so extremely private. He was maybe one of the most private, famous people we've known. And his emotional depth was expressed through art, Pisces, not everyday life. And he didn't wear his heart on his sleeve. He encoded his feelings into his music. And it's like you don't get direct access to my emotions, but you will feel them everywhere I create. And I also feel like he had an emotional, he transmuted his emotion into his genius art. And it rerouted the emotion into expression. It rerouted it for us, right? And his music was raw and sensual and spiritual, and it covered, his lyrics covered pain and longing and devotion and betrayal and agony and ecstasy, right? And he created a sound that felt like it came from somewhere deeper than just conscious thought. His moon didn't disappear, it alchemized. It alchemized into a creative genius. And I will tell you, he suffered from emotional isolation and he distrusted. He had difficulty trusting others. And rightly so, because somebody, I don't know, embezzled all of his money at one time. And then what happened to his affairs after he died with his estate. But he had a profound emotional intelligence. You know, I saw him one time on, I think it was Sesame Street or Blue's Clues or something. My God, he was a genius. He was an emotional genius. And he had this ability to channel feelings into timeless art. And he had almost a hypnotic emotional presence, right? So an intercepted moon does not mean you're not emotional. It means that your emotions are probably so powerful that he had to protect them. And your life becomes a journey of finding a safe way to release them. One thing Prince did, he didn't lack emotion. He mastered containment. He did. And once you felt his emotion, you never forgot it. How do you guys feel about this? I got so excited. I'm just like yelling into my microphone. I'm just so damn excited. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I want to so badly go through the intercepted planets. And I also want to go through the intercepted houses for you. But this has just gotten so big. I have to end my video here just because it's going to take me another whole 45 minutes to explain it all to you. And I want you to have this inside of you. And I just want to know, do you like this series? I didn't realize I was going to have to put this into a series. So please forgive me for not being able to go through all of the planets, the houses, and the signs. It's a lot. Astrology is like eating an elephant one bite at a time. But I hope you loved seeing Princess Diana's chart and Prince's chart and seeing how you can really understand how those planets and how those signs and how those houses were affected through interceptions. I hope you love learning with me. I love being here with you. And I want you to stay tuned for part 2 on the secret sauce of the charts, intercepted signs, houses, and planets. they're not accidents, and they're not flaws. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think and let me know if you love this subject or if you're ready for a new subject. Give me an idea. Give me a video idea. Wherever you are at in the world, I am praying that you are happy, healthy, wise, and wonderful. Right here from Seattle, my home here, to wherever you're at, I wish you the very, very best. Take good care.